Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Helena.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are Speaker Insight, where we help speakers, authors, and coaches just like you to build a portfolio business on your terms. And we welcome you, whether you are doing a good afternoon here in the UK or a good morning somewhere in the States and a good evening somewhere in the other side of the world in some way, shape, or form.
Every country now, Helena. You can't miss out China and, South Africa.
Honey, I think we'd be here for a while, and these are already long. although we're hoping today we might be fairly succinct, so we'll find out. Like those of you watching,
one today,
exactly, yeah, yeah. There she goes, kiss of death. And sort of what we'd really love to say is, whatever time it is, hashtag replay if you're watching this, even a year down the line, or a week later in some way, shape, or form, because now is the right time for you to learn whether you are worthy of an award. And no, we are not giving you out awards in this particular one.
We do
are
that at
actively
Christmas.
we do that at Christmas. And in fact, actually, we are about to start preparing for that because, of course, dare I say it?
Oh, don't. No, we're not saying the C word. No.
Okay. So that's good. Let's talk about the buzz in our business instead. We've got some of you here with us live. So tell us about the buzz in your business. What's going on that's exciting you? Maybe you are going up for an award. Maybe you've just won one. Who knows? Tell us what's actually happening so that we can keep abreast of all that's going on in the world, in the land of our speakers, authors, and coaches. If you are not inside the Connection Hub, we would love to invite you in to come and have the conversations that actually take place between speakers, authors, and coaches, but also between all the people who serve those people in some way, whether you're a graphic designer, whether you're a publisher in some way. All of us congregate inside the Connection Hub, and loads of sometimes controversial discussions take place, which is really rather good. So Kelly and I have been talking about this, sort of behind the scenes, and certainly with the members inside our membership, Changemaker Central. We've been talking about how do you get seen. You are in charge of being seen, and part of that is an award can really help you on a lot of different levels. So we're going to explore that today because I'm sure all of you may even be one of the people, have seen posts that people put out saying, yay, I won this thing, or whatever it is. And that's brilliant. And, displaying, and if you're not, we'll talk about that in a minute, displaying their accolades, the labels, the actual kind of the little trophy, whatever it is, on their websites, in their bios. So tell us in the comments, oh, there we go. In fact, Andy, you're ahead of me. Andy has just won one of the Janies, and Janies that's really cool. Kelly?
Andy and Joe are, I think their trophy cabinet must be overflowing, because not only have they just won the Janie Loves Award, but they also won the NLP Award this year as well, right? So they're going for it.
Which is really cool. So for the rest of you, again, whether you're watching this live or not, we want to know, what award have you got? By all means, even grab a picture of you with your award. We'd love to see that, because there's nothing nicer than being recognized. And that's really what an award is, for being recognized for the contribution that you're making in a specific area or in a particular industry. So we wanted to really just put awards on your kind of radar, on your register, to say, wherever you're at in your business, you can either aspirationally go, that's where I really want to be in 6 months' time, in 2 years' time, whatever it actually is, because it helps guide us along to where we want to be. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about how you go about getting awards, how you go about deciding where to actually go. But the thing I wanted to say up front beforehand, Andy's just saying, yes, awards have helped us gain business in-house for organizations and for individuals. And that's exactly it. So I want to go through a couple of the little whys. That's exactly one of the whys why you might want to enter an award, because sometimes it's a little bit time consuming. It still is something in your business that you are doing, and that absolutely works. So for sure, that external recognition and credibility is definitely one of them. But if you also think about it, think about what part you are playing in your brand. Most of our speakers, authors, and coaches are, they are a personal brand. And so when you have an award, that actively allows you to stand out and indeed differentiate yourself. An award can be the difference between you winning a deal or losing a deal sometimes, because you are just more publicly known. It may not be that you are better or worse than your competition, but it might seem like it if you have an award that backs up your credibility in some way. So that's one of the things. And they literally are a stamp of approval by others, either external to your industry or indeed your industry, that say, you rock. Like, you rock, and we're recognizing specifically how you rock, in a particular category even. And that can be really useful, right?
We do that a lot, don't we? In our membership group, or even when we were having a call yesterday, just reaffirming to our members on how good they are, because they lose sight of their awesomeness because they just take it for granted, right? And I know that, Helena's one of her points is about awards allow you to overcome that imposter syndrome, right? So
For sure.
not just the external recognition, it's somebody actually going reminding you that you're bloody awesome.
Yes.
And you have that, and you can't say, oh yeah, but they're biased because they're my clients or they're my family, or no, this is a third party that's gone, you've met this criteria or whatever it might be, you're awesome. Remind yourself of that.
and the thing about this is, for me, is that absolutely it is. Elliot's going, of course. Which is cool. And Andy's saying you can get lost in the day-to-day work and forget about the difference that you make. So that's one of the reasons. One of the things for me, more than anything, when I first meet somebody, when we start to talk to somebody within the group, we want to know and understand, A, what you're going for, but B, what you've already done, because we tend to dismiss it. As entrepreneurial, self-employed souls, we tend to negate everything that's been in the past and just kind of look to the future. But how can you use what's happened to actually do you good? That's one of the things. And good happens on an inside level as well as an external. So I also want to say this. Awards help remind you, partly they get rid of that imposter syndrome because you can't argue with somebody else, like a third party, exactly. But also there's an inner confidence around having been recognized. You cannot go back to hiding. You cannot go back to actually saying, well, I'm not very good at that, because actually you are, because you were just recognized for it. So the inherent confidence in you absolutely grows. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
And just honouring that bit of recognition, right? Because we do every year since we've been running, we run our Christmas awards. And that means that you'll see, if you look at any of our recordings of our Christmas awards, that we are monitoring as many of you in our group, in the Connection Hub, as possible. And we just show you that we see you, right? We recognise you. The people like Elliot and stuff who have got their own groups, then maybe it's something actually, the award isn't something that is a rubber stamp that other people in the industry is going to recognize as a credibility side of things, but internally within your own community and network and groups, having internal awards actually works on that recognition side of things rather than the so Elliot, you might have your own Oscars. Your own
yes, the ISCAs. The
ISCAs?
Yeah, the entrepreneur. Oh, I like it. Oh, let's see what happens with that one. So we're going to talk you through 3 core areas: discovering which awards might be right for you. So actually choosing an award definitely is a thing that you need to learn how to do. We're going to look at how you're actually applying and making the most of them when you've applied, you've got it. And then if you have got one, like, how do you use that as part of your promotion? How do you use that to actually get you more gigs? So that's really what we're going to cover.
Before we did this, we got so excited that Helena forgot to share the buzz in our business.
Oh yeah, I did. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay, good.
You can share the buzz in your business, and it might be an award, but we'll share ours too.
So wearing my Helping You Shine hat, because Kelly and I each run a different business to this one as well. So wearing that hat on Saturday, because I have been in lockdown, like in self-isolation for the last little while, I took the opportunity I'm running my vision board workshop. So the vision board workshop it's a really great coaching space that allows you to think about 2021. It allows you to really put a close on 2020 and start to build in what do you want to create and manifest for yourself over the next kind of year or so, including awards, obviously, in some way for some of you. So Kelly's put the link in, I'm sure. If you put the code have fun in, I'll give you a tenner off. How amazing is that? So you can sit and spend the day with me, just really getting clear on what do you want to create for yourself. So I'd love to see you there. And of course, we've been creative. So last week, we created a whole new resource for you. And we might have done that again this week.
We just like delivering, right? I'm going to put the link in because I'm going to take the first section. But
go for it.
We always encourage our members and people to be constantly creating lead magnets and valuable content for your audience. And we've seen lots of people talking about awards and then lots of people asking, oh, what's the date of your vision board, Helena?
Sorry, the 17th. It's this Saturday, so the 17th of October. Starting at 10:30, finishing at around 3:30, but a nice lunch break in between. It's one of the best things I do.
So the link in the comments is actually something that we've been creating to do with this Facebook Live today about awards, which is actually an awards directory for you to download for free. And we'll talk about how to use that awards directory and the 3 things that we're going to talk about in this live, which is the discovery bit, the applying, and then the promotion of that. So let's kick us off with the discovery. Obviously, I've helped you out. Well, we've helped you out a load because we've just given you a directory that tells you specifically awards for speakers, authors, and coaches, right? So in there is the link to one of the main directories of all the awards that are out there. So, we honor that. But what we've done on top of that directory is actually filtered out awards that are specific for speakers, authors, coaches, and people that support them. So say, for example, website designers or whoever it might be, there's some awards in there for you guys too. So the point is that if you look at the first directory, which many people would Google, which is a directory of most awards, you start going, bloody hell, there are thousands that I could apply for. So what we want you to make sure that you do, first of all, is choose ones that are recognized by your audience, your industry, and are respected by your audience and industry, okay? So that's when you start filtering all of these, because actually you could probably apply for hundreds and hundreds. You've got to start working out what's the shortlist, what one's going to make the most impact to your promotional marketing and your impact and your positioning in your marketplace. So I would make that shortlist, but I would also look at your competitors. So start looking at people that are in the same space as you, that are working in your field, and look at their websites, their bios, their front pages, to see if they have any sort of accolades at the bottom. Normally it's on the credibility section where you have at the top of the website or the bottom of the website, it says featured in, which shows all of the logos of media places that they've been featured in. They normally have a past clients section, which shows the logos of really reputable clients. And sometimes they'll have an awards section or featured or whatever it might be in association with. And that's where you'll see the awards. So what you want to be doing is going, okay, if I want to peg up or, improve my pricing or my positioning, I need to be going for the same awards that my competitors have done. So that's the first thing you start to do when you're identifying.
For sure.
Second one is when you're looking at the directory or you're just searching yourself, because the directory is just a starting point, right? We haven't literally found every single award in the world, but we've
given you a head start, but really you're going to have to do some groundwork yourself, partly because some of this may actually be you thinking about what works for me on a local or regional level, as well as everything else. So obviously we haven't covered necessarily all of those types, but that might be important for you.
Yeah. So the thing to look at when you're looking at the list and when you're searching is industry specific, right? So say, for example, there are lots of book awards out there. As Helena said, it could be, individual publisher awards or local awards. I mean, we highly partner up and work with the business book awards with Lucy and stuff with Rethink. So because many of our members have been nominated or have won that award. So that's a category like a business book award. But we've also got on the list stuff like the Soul and Spirit book awards. Yes. If your book is not a business book and it's actually more in that area. So this is what I'm saying by actually looking really specific about the industry that you were in and what would be a really niche or relevant award for you to be recognized?
Yeah, Elliot's just making me smile because he's shocking. I want it all.
Brilliant stuff. So download this directory and have a look through there to see which ones are relevant for you. But also, just like we were saying to Andy earlier, look and see if your industry has an accreditation award or a standard, for example. So these guys, Joe and Andy, won the NLP awards, right? Their industry is NLP. You've got the CIPD awards. You've got all these various accreditation and industry standard awards. And that, when I think Andy was saying earlier that
winning you.
Yeah, it gets him that recognition with external companies and things. Yeah. When you have been recognized as a standard to an accredited, authorized industry, people instantly know that they can trust you, right? Because you've got that level of standard.
Yeah, and it really is, you know, if you think about it, particularly if you are going in doing your best to win a contract of some particular kind, the people who want the service that you have may not understand everything there is to know about that service. But if you come with an award, if you have an industry recognized thing, then that actually does some of the legwork for them, because somebody else in the industry has actually already put that stamp of approval on you, so that you probably end up having more chance of winning those contracts. So, you know, just even from that perspective, so be very calculating about which awards am I going to take my time and effort into, because we're not saying this to, you know, this isn't just a fill in a form and be done for a lot of them. It's actually, you need to be considered about it. So were you going to say something? If not, I'll start.
The other thing is, if you are going for something like the NLP Awards and it is an industry accreditation standard, the beauty is once you win it, they promote to their network that you won it, and most of your ideal clients are sitting there looking or registered with their newsletters or wherever. So it's that reciprocal, you know, you're not only raising your standard from a positioning and brand point of view, but you're actually increasing your reach because they want to promote you more. So it's a win-win scenario. So that's my thing about identifying and discovering the awards is the easy bit, because there's so much out there.
For sure.
Shortlist down, make it specific to you. I wouldn't give yourself more than 3 to 5 to apply for annually, quarterly, whatever your marketing time will allow you to do. You don't want to be spending hours filling in hundreds of application forms, and we'll talk about the application process now, because it might not even be you that applies.
Yeah, exactly. So there are things that you can do to kind of make it easier for you, or make it less time consuming for you. We're not gently, honey. Gently, my love. I can't even help you. I really went to help you then. I'm like, hang on a minute, you're somewhere else.
You're still in isolation, Missy.
I know. That's my thing. I just go to help, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the application process and what you might have in place that will help you make it easier for you. So one of the first things is, and Kelly kind of hinted at this, the purpose of the award really is for you to, you know, highlight your positioning, or maybe increase your positioning. So of course, one of the things that you need to have ready is, you know, you need to highlight in your application what your positioning is, what the results are, what the credibility that you've already got and had and won, so that you are positioning yourself in the eyes of the award in that sense. Those 3 key areas make you stand out. So your results, your positioning, and your credibility. So what have you already got in place? Making a list of those and having, you know, your Word document, whatever it is, that's got everything on it for ready for applying. That is a really important piece. And as you may or may not know, we have several training sessions that may well help you with things like bios and what you might want to put in various bits and pieces. So you can have a good look at the resources that we've got in there. But the other thing is, so that's kind of almost the relying on the past and where it's actually at, but showing also in your application how you've been active or engaged within, you know, whether it's in your community, whether it's in the networking, whether it's events, through training in some way. How are you an example of what the award represents? That's really our question.
But it's specifically in the community and network where the award is taking place, right?
Exactly.
Your community,
No.
how has Andy and Joe contributed to the
To
NLP?
NLP world, etc. So
Their
it's about you proving that you deserve, if you like, this award because you have been a contribution in the area that the award is being given for. So we really are highlighting, if for you, you might have your eyes on a particular award, but if you're not currently doing anything or showing up within that, that doesn't give you much of a chance. So you might actually make a year-long kind of beeline for it and go, okay, how am I going to steer myself towards that so I give myself the best possible chance to do that? Kelly?
And I don't know if I can't see who's on, but Sarah Ross is like one of our members who like literally collects awards, a bit like Andy and Joe.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah, indeed. She shelves.
I think she got 8 or something ridiculous last
Yeah.
year. I remember at Connect and Create Day, she was listing them. But
Yeah.
one of the things I want you to expect or not expect is to win an award when that community leader or that organization has never seen you before.
For sure.
She was winning lots of awards in women in business sort of scenarios and those types of areas. But she was running like webinars in there. She was putting blog posts. She was in their Facebook groups,
There's
even before she even got nominated. So she was on that person's radar before she got nominated for the award, right? And that's what I don't want you to just go down a list of awards, or say that let's go back to the Soul and Spirit Book Awards, and you've never even bought a copy of that magazine, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that you can't say how long you've been a subscriber or how much it means to you to be in part of that network or whatever it is, that's the bit. They're not going to give an award to somebody who isn't an active member in their community, right? Yeah. So you need to get, and you should be active in those communities.
You should be.
Where your avatar, and you should hang out anyway.
Yeah, and of course that don't get me started. I was about to go down a whole different training, so I'm just going to rein myself in and actually just stick with it and see what we can do. But the whole point that we're making here is you choose on the back of what actually lines up with you. Green flag in the sand time. For those of you who are new to me, as you go through our other trainings, you'll understand what Kelly and I mean when we say green flag in the sand. But it's this whole piece of, does this award align to me and to my activities? And am I actually playing in the space in which the award is taking place? Now, the great thing about this is some of the awards you put up for yourself. So having that information, absolutely vital. Having that information is also vital for helping out the people who might nominate you for an award, because many awards these days are actually nominated on by somebody else. Somebody else actually recommends you. I've definitely been in a scenario where I've opened up an email and gone, someone's nominated me for what? Oh, okay, good. Sort of, and how exciting is that? So it may be that happens for you, or it may be that you actively are seeking to do an award. So you think about your VIPs or your joint venture partners, the people that know you really well, that you might ask to nominate you for that award. And to make it easy for them, if you give them the information that they actively might need, i.e. you do the legwork first, what's in the application, what might be the best way that they can represent you, that makes it really easy and not time consuming for them to actively put you forward for that particular award. Your application needs to be strong, it needs to be informed, it needs to be well put together. What better way than you doing that and having that information available?
It's
right?
really similar to when you're writing a book and you want that forward from the really reputable person who's going to add credibility to it. Most of those people won't have time to read a synopsis, read the book, read any of those types of things.
Never mind the book, yeah.
when you're going for that, the best advice when you have the contact with that person is that you write the forward, the testimonial, the one-liner, whatever it is, for them to actually understand, as well as giving them all the review and the synopsis and everything else. Yeah. But look, to make it easy for you, this is what I'd love for you to say if you agree with it. It's to your level, but it makes it much easier. You're more likely to get those testimonials back from those really busy celebrity types of people if you write that for them. So it's the same principle.
Same principle for sure. And the thing about this is once a lot of awards these days are still based around you enlisting and enrolling your own community in actually getting engaged in you receiving the award. So it doesn't just stop with an application. It may well be that you need to think about, where are you going to promote that? How might you, a lot of them these days have like a public voting system. So how are you going to make that happen? What are you going to use to enroll people in saying, hey, I'm up for this award. Would you support me? And, usually that's your tried and tested community that you actively have worked hard on, so that the people that know your work, know how you do what you do, are absolutely going to turn around and go, hell yes, this is the person that we would vote for out of everybody that's in there. So taking an active part in the community, we're circling back around to that, is a really big piece, because the more you're seen, the more you're known for the thing that you're known for, the easier it is for people to go, that's the person who gets my vote, right? So it isn't just about going, hey, I got nominated, and then waiting for people to respond to that. No, you have to tell them what to do and illustrate why you might actually be that person. So if you know that you're going for an award in a specific thing, maybe it is Community of the Year or something, you want to be showing people the proof that you have got, really, you worked hard to create your community, for example. So you're telling people why you're worthy of them casting their vote for you, if that's the kind of award that you're going in for.
Yeah, a lot of people I know a lot of people put a post up saying, I've just been nominated for this, would you please vote?
Will you vote for me?
That's okay, because it's straight to the point. But I'd love for you to actually embellish a little bit on that post and go, well, if you're up for whatever it might be, what did you say, community
of the year or something, yeah.
And you want to actually have maybe a collage of a couple of testimonial posts for people in your community saying, this community rocks, I've been able to do this since I've been a member, and you put that post up along with, I've been nominated as the Community Manager Award. This is what I'm so happy that a lot of you agree with this. Here's some of the reasons why I've been nominated. If you want to get involved, then please vote for me too, because there are some people that don't know you. If people have joined the Connection Hub this morning, they won't know Dana and I for toffee, right? When we might be up for an award, so they'll be like, well, why would I vote for you? But instantly you're giving them backup of saying, I'm really excited, I'm really happy that this leads on to these testimonials that we're getting. It's the next stage, please support us with that.
It's that whole piece around social proof. And Andy's actually just saying this. We also did a competition around Janie Love's Award and gave away a diploma course place. That generated an additional 450 people who are now finding out about what we do, etc. So Kelly's about to talk to you about how you use the promotion potentially after, but this is obviously promotion before. Andy, you are just a superstar.
Well, he's stealing my limelight. I might press the button to bring him on camera.
Nice, I love that.
Close on Andy. No, okay, so we've done the discovery. Helena's just done about the applying, whether that's you, whether that's somebody else applying for you on your behalf. Then we need to think about, okay, let's promote it. Whether you've been nominated or whether you've won the award, don't miss the opportunity to talk about it. That's what we want to say, right? It's really important that a lot of people go, oh yeah, I won this award. I was actually, funnily, following a post that Daniel Priestley put up in one of his groups the other day about who's won an award. And there were so many people in there that said, oh, I've won one, but I forgot about that, or I never really did anything about that. And you just think, oh my God, what are you doing? Right? Andy's dressed, that's good. So in that respect, make sure that you are using it. And there are lots of ways, just like Andy said, that you can be creative about promoting when you've been nominated or when you've won an award. But these are some of the things that are essential that you do with it, okay?
For sure.
Because it shows, even if you've been shortlisted, it shows to your audience that you are a top provider in your industry.
And here's the thing.
Build the trust with your audience, okay? Because if somebody else, third party, is seeing that, it helps them shortlist you in their categories of who should I work with.
And here's the thing that most of you forget. Most of you forget that new people are consistently coming in and getting to know about you, which means that the people who knew you won an award a year ago, and you've had, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 people kind of new to you, they may not know that unless you have it placed somewhere where they can see it on a regular basis, unless you remind people in some way. An award is an asset And as we know, we need to sweat our assets, right?
Yeah. And it's not something where we want to see a social media post of, I won an award this year, right? That's blowing your own trumpet. Unless you combine it with content, unless you combine it with case studies and evidence and things like that, just to make it even, it boosts whatever you're doing out there.
Yeah. Yes, nice one. Taruna, there you go.
Was important. Yeah, 100%, right? And you were in the Business Book Awards, so we need to make more of that for you, Taruna. So when you have, this is more when you've won the award, because obviously that's more of a trophy that you can then publicize in the points that I'm going to talk about now. Yeah. What you want to do first of all is you want to put that logo. Normally there is some sort of little icon or logo saying award and then industry winner and normally the year. What you want to do is you want to put that logo on your website. You want to put it on your marketing material. You want to maybe even have it at the footer of your signature of your email. So anywhere that's quite small and discreet, but the fact that it's where people are, as Helena says, whether they're new to you or old to you, that is going to constantly remind them that you are top quality. We want to make sure that you include this in your bio, right? So you can, if you've got multiple awards, I was reading Sarah Ross's bio the other day, I can't remember why, but she's got, award winners in, she doesn't mention them all, but her testimonials say where she's won the awards. But here, being an award winner international speaker, an award winner best-selling author, it just takes it up another level, right?
For sure.
So if it's a very well-known industry award, Andy and Joe, then you definitely want to make sure that the NLP Awards is mentioned in your bio that you were a winner 2020. Okay,
for sure.
Because that is part of that positioning and that credibility. So make sure that it's mentioned in your bio. It might even be mentioned one-liners in your social media bios, in your Facebook and your LinkedIn and blah, 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 because wherever your bio appears, back of the book, website, about page,
your link tree, the whole deal, right?
Get it in there.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing before you? So the other thing about this is from a local PR perspective, PR, like newspapers, local newspapers, regional newspapers, always on the lookout for stories. If you've won an award, whether it's a national one or whatever it is, local business person wins award is absolutely something you can do. And that then pays itself over and over, because you then, of course, are in the news as such, and then you use that as well. So have a think about all of the ramifications of where you can actually show up.
I would also, if you've been nominated or you've won an award, is actually write some form of article, social media post, blog.
For sure.
Just around, not the fact of you winning, but actually around what the award stands for, what the award means to you, why useful the award is in the industry, so that if people are looking for NLP providers, what does that mean? I don't know what you're looking at.
I'll say it in a second.
But when you, rather than just put a post up about you won, actually bring some context around it, because some people who are your end users might not know the standards it took to win that award.
Yes.
So when you actually break down what they look for, criteria, and what you actually achieved in order to win that award, it makes them think, God, these guys are really good if they've done that. Talking about how many applicants that went for that post, how many people were shortlisted, all these types of things are great in a post, because one, it might inspire your audience to go for the same award. But two, it also shows them and it educates them the level of detail of actually achieving that award. So you may even in that social media post ask for people to give you some testimonials that endorse it. So again, done a Facebook Live on how to get testimonials and use testimonials, but you're always looking for new ones. So when you write this post and says what it does, you can say, if anyone agrees with this or anyone's used our services that would love to give us a testimonial, put it in the comments. Now I'm laughing about.
So Andy actually said, yep, it's everywhere in terms of, are you using it? Yep, it's everywhere. 2019, by the way. I know. I was going to say isn't it 2019-20? like that actually kind of, yeah, isn't it all a mishmash in some way? And we must mention it enough for you to think it was this year is what made me smile. But actually, Andy's really appreciating the point that they haven't done enough of that little piece in there,
Yeah.
which definitely, sort of, so a lot of the time we make assumptions, and we want you never to make assumptions on behalf of your audience. We want you to make it really clear that you are working very hard in your industry to bring up the standards, to be at the front of your game. And this is one of the core ways in which you can do it in a really wonderful way that allows you to educate somebody, but also engage them and enroll them.
And the other thing about promotion, it's not the full list, but one thing I think I've seen people miss it out is that awards count a lot when you are pitching for investment, you're looking for sponsorship, you're looking for partnerships and stuff like that. Because what they do is they give you that industry credibility and positioning that, as I said before, that instant trust, but it also gives that investor, that partner, that sponsor a peace of mind that they're not investing in something that's quite risky. There's third-party endorsement around you, there's backup, there's credibility. So when you are pitching, it's a really important part to embellish, not just that you're an award winner, but what it took to win that award, what it means to win that award, how many people went for that award, like I said before, just to give them an understanding that actually you are top of your game.
And how many people now look at you, like how many people are related to that award in terms of the audience themselves. This particular, back to Kelly's kind of book positioning piece, if there is an award that has an audience of 200,000, you want to be mentioning that in your pitch, because suddenly 200,000 eyes may well be on you because you've won that award. So don't negate anything. And as you can see, Kelly has actually take action. Like, which award would you love to go for? That would be a really great thing. So we've helped you, as we say.
I've seen some new people join in the last sort of like 10, 15 minutes. So you might have missed at the beginning that we've created a directory specifically for speakers, authors and coaches, and what awards are out there for you guys to win. So that's the download that we put there that you can download yourself and start listing.
Well, so, and again, I guess I'm going to circle back around to, sort of bearing in mind that I'm thinking all things visioning at the moment. So what would you like to be celebrating at the end of 2021? What can you do right now in this quarter to start preparing for what is it that I'm going to go for that would allow me to position myself, that would allow me to have more confidence in myself, that would allow me to get rid of some of that imposter syndrome, but that also allows me to really get the credibility that takes me up a level so that I can make the difference and be the change maker that I actively am and want to be in the world. An award goes a long, long way to kind of shortcut that process in people's eyes. So what are you going to go for? We would love to know. So pop it in the comments when you've had a little think about it. Come back to this and tell us, because we'd love to know.
And use the Connection Hub with a call out. If you've been nominated for an award and you want people to vote for you, and some of your people might be in our world, then you can use that post to do that.
But only if you do the homework on it and you actually detail it. If you just put a vote in, vote for me, you totally know that Kelly and I are going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. Which is how it goes. And I think on that note, we should leave them to it.
Have a good week.
Take care.